Hey, before I start this video, I just wanted to let you know that at various points in this video, um, things got heavy. I'm not gonna lie. Things got heavy at some points. I did get rather emotional, and I just wanted to let you guys know right out the bat. I don't want this to be like a oh, feel bad for me kind of thing. That's not the goal of this. It's just that this happened, and if that's not your cup of tea, or if you yourself have various I don't know, things that might upset or trigger you, you might want to skip this video, or at the very least, just be mindful of that going in. And yeah, with that said, I'll just put you right into the video. Hey, so this is a bit of a different video. I normally don't make Destiny content, but well, those of you that follow me know that I'm working on a bit of a Destiny fan project because, well, I love the game and I love the lore and I love Destiny and I've grown up with it. And Lightfall's reveal is, at the time of this video's release, going to be tomorrow. So today, I figured that I would share my experiences with Destiny, my journey. I will talk to a few of the amazing and notable people I met along the way, and I'll show off a little bit of that fan project I've been working on. Before we can talk about Destiny, we should talk about Halo, which probably isn't surprising. I was born in 2004, the same year Halo 2 came out. I missed the OG Xbox days. I was way too young to play Halo 3, but I did join in at the very end of the Xbox 360 days when I got to try the original Xbox version of Halo CE, where I was probably traumatized by the flood at like the age of 8. From there, I was given an Xbox 360 as a gift. With it came Halo Reach, Halo 3 ODST. I fell in love with Halo, and I still do love Halo. Actually, this channel is in part dedicated to Halo. Well, then came Destiny. I remember begging my mother for this game. So I always say that I've been around from day one, and this is true, but not in the way that I typically let people believe. Confession time. I did not actually have my own Destiny account until about halfway through year one. When Destiny 1 released, I was hanging out with my friend Noah, who actually just recently started talking to again. Noah was at the time my best friend, and Noah was how I played Destiny for the first time. I was obsessed with it. First thing when I got to hang out with him, Destiny, 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 Destiny. Well, eventually, I convinced my mother to get the game for me. She always had a bit of a hesitance when it came to certain types of video games, like Destiny, because, well, video games and media don't cause violence, but you should still be mindful of what your kid watches and plays. Honestly, I'm really glad she put that sense of fiction is not reality in me from an early age. It was kind of a catalyst for how I even view some things today. Like, it was one of the things that helped encourage critical thinking and common sense. Thanks, Ma. I know you're watching this. Anywho, Mom got me Destiny, and even some Xbox Live Gold to go with it. I was so fucking stoked. I was so happy and intimidated by it. The first thing that struck me about the game was the music. Something about that menu screen. It made me feel so curious and excited. To this day, I feel this sense of joy and nostalgia, and I even relive that memory just by hearing that simple, beautiful music. And then I loaded into the game, created my hunter, which was a blue exo that I named, like, I think I named, what I name Jack? Like after my cat? And I met my ghost, which at the time was voiced by, I think, Peter Dinklage. I think that's where the Dinklebot meme came from. Playing through the... Sorry, I'm talking about, like, some pretty emotionally weighted stuff for me, so I'm, like, shifting. Playing through the vanilla campaign was so... I can't describe that feeling. I think my favorite memory was my first encounter with the Vex. I don't think I had felt that afraid in a video game since the Flood. Something about the endless tide of unstoppable machines was just so scary to me. And I don't think I've felt that afraid in Destiny in a while. I would take off their heads and they would keep moving towards me. And for a kid in like 4th or 5th grade, that was scary. And another memory that just sticks out to me, it was my first time playing Crucible. I think it was either Control or Combined Arms. What made me so excited about that was seeing other players' ships. And as a kid, I had some friends, but not many. And even then, I was really lonely. Often I was bullied, I was an easy target, and I didn't really have anyone stick up for me. And seeing those ships, it got me so excited. I didn't talk to anyone in lobbies. I was too young. My mother wouldn't have it. But I pretended for a second that I had friends to game with. And then Calvin, who you guys know, he's popped up in my content, he got Destiny. And even though we had hung out in school and played around, like, the adventures of Team Light or whatever, Destiny is when I knew Calvin was my brother from another mother. He is my damn brother. I will always believe that. He got it, I'd say, right before the Taken King's E3 trailer. We got hooked on Destiny 1. I mean, I was already hooked, but I got super hooked. I remember the first strike I ever did was with him and another friend. Power. So it was the Devil's Lair. It's in Destiny 2 now, but back then, it was so much harder, or at least it felt so much harder than it does now to beat. Especially because we were low-level trash, and we were just really bad at video games. Every single encounter was a hard-fought battle. We had a friend, as I just mentioned, who we still occasionally talk to. I'll call him Power, that was his gamer tag, and he played with us. At one point, Cal had gone away from the screen for, like, reasons I don't remember. It was so long ago. Power and I had the Devil Walker, the spider tank in the strike, at extremely low health. Like, I'm pretty sure one more rocket, and that would have been it. Or one more golden gun, and that would have been it. Cal came back. He had no heavy, no super. Well, no super that could do damage. He ran bubble at the time while we were on the spawn screen. He came back while we were on the spawn screen. And we begged him not to do anything, to wait until we respawned. And he said, "Don't worry, guys, I got this. Leroy Jenkins." And we wiped. I remember we pretended our guardians had names and would make up all sorts of these adventures. We specifically put a heavy emphasis on Crota, and Cal's character, Blue, took on Skolas. It was just us being kids. We also did things we shouldn't, such as deliberately breaking the game to reach out-of-map areas Bungie didn't want players to reach. Sorry. It was around this time that I really started getting into the lore of Destiny. Like, I fell in love with the Grimoire cards. The Ahamkaras, the Ghost Hills, Dredgen Yor, Shimmalfer, yours, not mine, Twilight Gap, Six Fronts, Crota, the Great Disaster, the Reef Wars. Oh my, it was something about it. Something about it was so captivating. And then the expansion that would forever keep Destiny in my heart released, The Taken King. The Taken King released when I had entered the 6th grade, aka my first year of middle school. I don't even have to look up when TTK released. I remember it because I had literally been counting down the days to release since the release date had been announced. September 15th, 2015. New story. Oryx, the father of Crota, had invaded the system with an army of Taken. I was so excited. But at the time, I had been naughty, my mother grounded me, and that's what happens when you ditch class. Don't ditch class, kids. I got up to shenanigans, but she was a merciful goddess. She knew how much I was excited for it, and she let me play when it released. That story, the Battle of Saturn cutscene, Phobos, Oryx, Cade, Eris. I was just in love. I remember in the final boss fight, back then, like, you could run out of ammo. At least I think... Okay, either I had ran out of ammo, or I was pretending I ran out of ammo. And I beat Oryx by, like, when he was on his last sliver of health, by using the hunter knife. It was great. And Cal and I were up way past our bedtimes every friggin' night. It would be midnight, we were still awake. It would be 4 a.m., we were still awake. I remember Cal got TTK right after it released, so there was a very small stretch of time when he didn't have it. At school, he told me, hey, I saw the Taken on Venus. I saw the Taken on Venus. I didn't believe him. I was like, you don't have the DLC. And so that night, to prove me wrong, we went to Venus, and the Taken invaded. I was so amazed. And now my favorite worlds are being hit by Oryx. My favorite locations are being invaded by Oryx. It was awesome. I remember excitedly jumping from the couch to the chair and back again. It was so fun. Around this time, I fell in love with a group called the Clueless Guardians, which was a phenomenal Funny Moments compilation made by a YouTuber by the name of Andrew JRT. Honestly, the Clueless Guardians is such an amazing piece of Destiny history that if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Like when you're done with this, go watch it. I will have it linked below. Andrew, Jane, the whole gang, the Clueless Guardians were awesome. They always made me laugh. Even though I probably shouldn't have been watching that kind of content at my age, I loved watching their videos. I still go back now and again. I miss them. Truth is, this is silly, I know, but how do I put this? I liked to pretend that I was there with them in the raids when I watched the videos. Just, I wasn't saying anything, I wasn't doing anything, I was just somewhere off screen. Like I said, I didn't have many friends. I had a lot of fun times playing with Cal, don't get me wrong. I still play with Cal. I love Cal, he's my brother. But I wanted to raid. And, well, I was pretty lonely. I dreamed of having a group of people I could raid with, and I guess watching other people raid made me forget, for a moment, And one time I did get the opportunity to raid Crota's End. Didn't complete the run, but it was some of the most fun I've ever had. To this day, Cal and I go back, just the two of us, to complete the first encounter for the hell of it. Around this time, I read the Books of Sorrow, and I was captured by the character of Savathun. Something about her, she was different. Unlike her siblings, Oryx and Zivu, I got this sense that there was more to her, and every time she was mentioned in the games from there on in, I don't know, I just got giddy. And, well, this will become very relevant soon. To be honest, the rest is a bit of a blur, not because it wasn't notable, but because time flies when you're having fun. I remember Prison of Elders, Challenge of the Elders, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Varix. Praedyth and Paradox, Siva, Rasputin. Of course, we can never forget, we stepped into a war with a cabal on Mars. I wasn't trying with that impression, not that I could do a good impression to begin with. I remember the mountain at the Iron Temple, climbing it for the first time. I remember Gallarhorn, Thorn, Hawkmoon, Last Word, Icebreaker, Sleeper, the Swords, getting Young Wolf's Howl, the Plaguelands, the Dreadnought, Wrath of the Machine, King's Fall, watching those two raids, and watching people do it. Such an amazing time. I kind of miss it. When Destiny 2's beta released, I was blown away by the graphics, the visuals, the music, Towerfall. I still listen to that track. The Inverted Spire was an awesome strike too. Homecoming was an awesome mission, and then Destiny 2 itself released, and I was just blown away. I did really miss my Zalo Supercell. If you remember that exotic, I love you. But I was also stoked to explore these new areas. I wanted to learn more about the Traveler, the city, the Cabal. The Red War was awesome. The Almighty. Oh, I remember that mission. So 1 AU. As a little bit of a space nerd, the name 1 AU bugs me a little bit, but whatever. And while I didn't really like Curse of Osiris and Warmind's stories, I had a blast with the Zul boss fight, though narratively it was a bit anticlimactic. I loved Mars, and hey, Osiris was really neat. I like Osiris. Around this time, I got my girlfriend. Around this time, I got with my girlfriend, and I got her, Destiny 2 and Destiny 1 for her birthday. Paige, you guys know her? You guys talk to her? I'm still with her, and I still love her. We played it with Cal. I was so happy to play it with her. Bungie, why'd you take away Crimson Days? That was our thing, Crimson Days. That was our thing. Around this time, I met two amazing online friends, Sheer and Hunter. Sheer's been on the channel, and Hunter's in my Discord. Sheer is like a sister to me, and Hunter is an awesome friend who I love to write with. And then Forsaken came along. I remember exactly how I reacted to the reveal of Forsaken. I was with Paige, sitting down, she was doing something, and I had my phone, and I was like, what? No, not Cade, no! And when Forsaken released, I think like many other players, I was ready to bring Aldrin to justice, to reclaim the Ace of Spades, to explore the Dreaming City. I had also watched channels like My Name is Bife before, but around that time was when I really started watching videos with channels like that, because that was when some really big things started going down, particularly with Savathun. I think what made Forsaken stick out to me was we lost. We just didn't know it. And Aldrin didn't win either. Aldrin died, the Barons were taken down, the Scorn was annihilated, the Ace of Spades was reclaimed, Riven was destroyed. But we lost too. Cade was dead, the already devastated last city was without a hunter vanguard, and all the other hunters scattered to the wind. Fractures formed, things like the Shadows of Yore and Callus became more prevalent, there were signs of the oncoming darkness, the reef was in tatters, the dreaming city was cursed. So, who won? Savathun did. Savathun won without ever doing anything to us directly. She didn't say a word, she didn't fire a shot. We did exactly what she wanted without her saying or doing a damn thing. And that was the moment she became my favorite Destiny character. I loved the Black Armory, the Drifter, and Legion's Quest. Honor, I love Honor. She's one of my favorite characters. Callus and the Menagerie, I miss that activity. But also around this time, well, alright. No turning back now. No turning back now. This time was This time was really hard for me. I stopped doing well in school. I was bullied. I was depressed. I contemplated things I shouldn't have. And unfortunately, those thoughts consistently came back to haunt me for years. I was toxic. I said things I shouldn't. I hurt the people around me. Friends, family, friends both in person, online. I was kind of a troll. I said and did things I fully take responsibility for. Things I really regret. And I developed habits that, to this day, sometimes they come back up, and, I try to be mindful of them, and I'm glad that people call me out on them because, like, old habits die hard. But I've done so much to improve, and I continue to try to improve as a human being. But, at the same time, terrible things happen to me. Terrible people did terrible things to me, verbally, physically, emotionally. I kind of started relying on animals, specifically guinea pigs, to help me get through my day. The little guys were special. They were special, and then they died. And that may seem trivial, and some of the people around me made it out to be trivial, but they were the individuals that I could talk to, that wouldn't judge me, that wouldn't say anything to me. They were the guys that got me through the night, that I was always excited to see. And losing them was hard. And honestly, it set me over the edge. I remained in this dark place. Destiny really helped me. At least I had something to look forward to at the end of the day, right? Between the bullying, the harassment, the things that happened to me that I don't like discussing, and the way I was treated by people who I won't name because they'll probably see this. People that really should have been better to me. I became a dark human being. I became a dark person. I avoided socialization. I became a ghost socially. When people talked to me, I was all smiles, but I was suffering. I was depressed. I hated myself. I hated the world. I wanted to hurt myself. I wanted to hurt others. I became cynical and anxious. I felt like everyone and everything was untrustworthy in some way, shape, or form. I hated living. I was terrible. I was a terrible human being. I, from time to time, would find ways to drink. I would hurt myself. I lied. I was manipulative. I got into fights after school. It took a lot for me to correct myself. Paze, Cal, my mother, my sister, Sheer, and other people were amazing, and supportive, and helped me do better. Excuse me. I kind of stopped interacting with the Destiny community, not just because it can be a toxic cesspit at times, but also out of shame. Other things happened, too. The dreaded plague began and lockdown started. Around this time, I started making YouTube videos for fun, and I started making artwork. I got back into the Destiny community to a limited extent. I hung out with the Halo community as well. I joined Installation 00's Discord, where I met some wonderful people, some of whom I became really close to. Burb, Wiki, Dust, Chief, Forklift, Cypher, Kitten, Enclave, Spartan, Dragon, Civ, Miss Precursor, Adrian, Cell. I miss you, Cell. They became an online family for me, and there were so many more people too. And I loved each and every one of them. I love them all so much. And then Installation 00 did the Solace ARG. I covered it for fun. He surprisingly shared my video around, and that led to events that genuinely changed my life. 00 is such an amazing human being who I am glad to call my friend. His words of a friend and mentor. His words of advice, I have one thing saved to my notes because they changed how I look at things. Here, I'll even pull it up. 1 second. In life, there is so much you can't control. A swath of things you could control if you wanted, and only a few things you can absolutely control. You've realized at a phenomenally early age, might I add, how much you could control if you wanted. Most people get into the habit of following the path of least resistance. Go to school, get good grades so you can go to college, get good grades so you can go to university, get good grades so you could go to work, perform well at work so you could get a promotion, perform well at your promotion to earn more money, to buy a house that you can't afford, and to work more hours to pay for the house that you barely live in because you're always working to afford it. And by the time you get to your late 30s, early 40s, you realize half your life is over and you've done absolutely nothing but work for some other fucker, lining someone else's pockets, doing someone else's work, following someone else's instruction and agenda. You've realized this fatal flaw in the system at an early age before wasting years of your life. So excellent work on that front. You're scared? Good. A little bit of fear keeps the senses sharp. If you weren't scared, it means you're fundamentally missing just what it means to take control of the direction of your life. I was in your shoes 3 years ago, just stepping out into a brand new world and waking up to the reality that I can control so much more of my life than I had been taught. If you play your cards right, you could be immeasurably better in multiple dimensions than you are at the moment. It takes courage to do what you're doing. Courage that tons of people talk about, but precious few actually make the moves to action. Excuse me. The best things in life lay on the other side of fear. If people stand in your way or put you down or reject what it is you're trying to do with your life, it's likely because they know they can't do it, so they want to tell you you can't do it either. It's bull. If they're toxic and not helping your journey forward, cut them out. If you're telling people what you want and you're aiming to achieve, and they're not listening, stop talking to them. Never underestimate the value of your voice and don't waste it on those who aren't listening. As far as a solid game plan going forward, I'm afraid I can't offer you that, but because your journey is going to be worlds different from my own. But I will give you this advice. Write a list of the priorities, the things you absolutely need. That can include your basic human needs, like a house, an income, etc., but it can also include what I've come to call the needs of the soul. These are your goals that you know in your bones is where you're meant to be heading. Once you have that list, focus on each one at a time and identify the requisites that you need to make them happen. Once you've done that, you can then start putting to action plans to get the requisites sorted so the needs can be fully realized. To understand this, you will be presented with difficult choices. Choices that will have to be made for you to be moving forward. Sorry, to keep moving forward. Some of these choices will be unpopular with others. Some of these choices will see some people leave your life. Some will see things you thought you'd never see change before your eyes. These are your sacrifices. These sacrifices will be unique to you with every choice you make, and you must make them. You pick a path to walk, and you move closer to your destination. But you also inevitably pick your sacrifices, and it's really important that you do. Because if you delay making the choice or try to sidestep it, your sacrifices will pick you at a later date. And you don't want that. It's better to know what the sacrifice is in the moment and be prepared for the consequences, but be happy moving through them because the path you picked is the one you chose, than for your sacrifices to pick you at a later date, and you be completely unaware of them coming, and thus unable to plan and sufficiently navigate the chaos that comes as a consequence. This is going to be scary, it's going to be thrilling, it's going to be chaotic and unstable at times, but it's going to be the air in your lungs and the blood in your veins, and you'll always have me here to help you out anytime you need. Those words changed my life. They changed how I view my life. And they're words I live by, right now, to this day. And I'm infinitely grateful for them. I was also questioning a lot of things about my own identity at this time. And that was when I realized that I'm trans. I am trans and I identify firmly as female. And while almost everyone, that is, but the ones that matter, was so supportive. I'm so lucky to have these amazing people. And to top that off, these same people started playing Destiny with me, doing dungeons, Nightfall, raids with me. I finally have those friends I fantasized about having when I watched the Clueless Guardians as a kid. And sure, at times, my faith in Destiny and Bungie has been shaken. Sorry, this video is a bit of an emotional roller coaster for me. I actually stopped playing until Season of the Chosen. I didn't like Beyond Light. But Witch Queen. Wow. I love Witch Queen. The only criticisms I have is that I didn't get enough Savathun. In truth, I don't think I can ever get enough Savathun. I want more Savathun. I hope she comes back. I can never get enough of her. I love Savathun so friggin' much. You would not believe how much I love this character. I love the throne world, the stories, the acting, the delivery. I laughed so hard when we put Savathun's worm into the parasite launcher. I remember shouting at the top of my lungs, "They turned this fucker into a gun!" And the worm continues to talk now and then. Bungie, thank you. I love this weapon so much.
Just trust me.
Wait, what is this? What have you done?
What I said I'd do. Provide you with a host. Though I guess this is really more a prison of light.
Not what we agreed!
Enough, worm. You'll live, just like you wanted. The Scorn. They see the worm as an asset to the Witness. They will not relent until they have it. Take the weapon. Use it against them. I need to finish the ritual or we risk our parasitic friend escaping.
I love the Witch Queen. Well, now, I'm 18. I'm an adult. I'm working. I'm now finished working for now. And now, I am working on a fan project, Antho-Acluophobia. It is a Savathun-related story, fully written and illustrated by me. Savathun will be voiced by the wonderful and talented CZ Fox, and the music will come from the also amazing and talented Alex G. I want it to not just be a fan story, but a true to Destiny style story. As of recording this, I have been obsessively studying all things Savathun. I'm doing architecture studies of her throne world, of the Dreadnought, of the hellmouth of everything Hive. I'm reading all of her lore, replaying the Witch Queen over and over again, the Taken King, the Dark Below, analyzing her dialogue. Every time I write, I try to think like Savathun. I try to quote-unquote become Savathun. And I am so friggin' excited to show you guys the work that's been put into this. Actually, I'll show some of it at the end of the video, but for now, I want you to hear from some of my good and wonderful friends. Prior to that, we had pretty much just been Destiny buddies as, like, lore nerds, as fanfiction lovers, as writers. We didn't actually play together because we were on different platforms. Which, you know,
How
sucks.
salty we were about when the crossplay beta came out. We couldn't link up with each other. We were like,
Oh, that sucked.
like, I noticed it and I texted you, like, get on Destiny now.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Really?
I remember you waiting for Destiny 2 to come out. And the countdown.
The countdown for Destiny 2.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You were so excited. I remember when you finally got to open it and see it, you just were so excited and wide-eyed and happy, and it did not disappoint you.
No, it did not. It did not.
That was a pretty solid memory for me. I think my memories are going to be me as a mom observing you versus, you know, your memories of actually playing the game.
Well, that's why you're here.
There you go.
So
Yes.
have at it. What are some other mom memories?
Then having to ground you, knowing you had been anticipating for so long. Oh, it sucked as a mom to have to do that because you just the never-ending battle between reality and school, you know.
School lost.
Yeah,
School definitely lost.
I know.
But okay, before anyone judges, this woman managed to help me study my ass off for like 2 months before the Chesapeake, and I passed it first try. High five.
You rocked it.
Okay, what is your favorite Destiny 1 memory?
Gonna be the starting mission to Phobos and Taken King.
The Coming War? You know, something about that mission. It just like...
Because
Yeah, go on.
I was feeling like hot shit as a guardian. Like, you know, taking... Okay, looks like I'm killing this whole damn family, you know?
Right?
And then there was just something about the vibe of it where I was like, okay, eyes up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, the Cabal. Okay, I've got to fight them too. No big deal. And I was like, wait, why is that Cabal reaching to me for help? Why are the Cabal running? Why are the Cabal fighting each other? And then Light, give your will to me. I was like, oh fuck.
What was it called around Valentine's Day?
Crimson Days.
Crimson Days.
That was our thing.
And as a mom, I'm watching you and Paisley play, or hear you as I'm working around the place, because that apartment was not that big.
Yeah.
So you could hear everything.
Yeah.
And I would hear you say, Paisley, 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 you're supposed to stay with me. Paisley, we die if we don't stay together. And Paisley is cackling as she runs off.
Yeah. The dynamic is I'm the one that's actually trying, and she's the one that's just goofing off
and trying to kill you, no less. It was really funny.
Well,
That's what I would remember from Crimson Days, and I just laughed so much because Paisley was just being a little booger and loving every second of it, and you're like trying to be
I'm trying to get the bow, Paisley. The Masterworks bow. It's so romantic. I want that bow.
And Paisley's like, la 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 la.
Well, what's funny is at some point when I told her that the reward was a masterworked bow called the Vow, she loves bows in that game, so she was immediately like, "Oh, we're doing this," and then we
Game
killed,
on.
We,
Game
we,
on.
We absolutely killed it.
Yeah, she just had to be motivated. Sounds like someone else I know.
Hi. Remember Crimson Days?
Oh my god, yes. That bow I got was really cool. I like that bow.
I remember what I had. I remember I had to use that bow as motivation to get you to play Crimson Days with me proper. Because I remember we were playing Crimson Days, and I'd be like, "Pace, wait, come back! No, come back! We gotta stick together." and you would go off, and you would go off on your own, and you'd get me killed. And so I was like, "It's for the bow, Paisley. It's for the bow." And then you're like, "Oh, it's a bow? Okay." And then we started doing Crimson Days, like proper.
It's a bow? Alright. I'll put up with it. Fine.
Oh, don't be like that. You had fun.
No, I did.
See, all of these things are just like through the view of the mom observing, right?
Right.
So then you and Cal staying up until all hours of the night playing Destiny with Power. And I would walk into our family room the next morning, and you guys are like passed out with drool coming out of the sides of your mouths. And there's like open chip bags with chips on the ground and half drank drinks with other drinks there. And gosh knows what else. And it's like I'm trying to quietly sneak into the kitchen to make coffee, knowing that you guys probably just got to sleep a few hours ago. Because you were up all night playing Destiny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cal would come over Friday after school, and that would be it.
One of my favorite ones was Wrath of the Machine. Basically, part of the siege engine blew up, and the physics went absolutely nuts. It went flying so far out of the map that you couldn't even see it anymore. I think it went to like the edge of the boundaries.
Oh my god.
And we were just waiting for a buddy of mine to get back so that we could... what was I going to say? Oh yeah, start the next encounter. About a minute and a half later, that thing comes back down, or maybe it was like 30 seconds, I'm probably embellishing that, but sometime later that thing comes back down and immediately crushes one of the other players in our party.
Yeah. Was it the siege engine part of Wrath of the Machine? Because I never got to do Wrath of the Machine. Wasn't the siege engine part the part that just blew out everyone's consoles and just almost broke the game because it was just so intense?
Yeah.
And I also think that one thing I appreciate about Destiny is, like, even though I may not agree with Bungie on like every decision they make, I do appreciate Bungie as a company. Mm-hmm. Like I like all the charities that they donate to. I like how even when it might even like bring controversy to them, they'll speak out for, like, as an example, women's rights.
Yeah.
Like after what happened with Roe, but Bungie didn't make a thing for publicity. Bungie basically arguably, like, when everyone else was staying silent, Bungie was one of the only ones to speak, which I appreciate. And also, how much of Bungie is as far as I know, Bungie has a lot of LGBTQ plus employees in there. It's funny. We were actually talking about, I think Adrian, she brought it up where someone was bugging her for, you know, being a member of the LGBTQ plus community. She's like, how could you like Destiny but not like but like be transphobic?
Do you not know?
Do you not know who makes your game?
God. So the reason I was muting myself was because there's a lot of people, and I was feeling very awkward, and I didn't really want to speak or like make noise. Sorry, I didn't want to speak or make noise unless I was spoken to. So I put myself on mute for like the very beginning of the little call we were doing, and and we started the raid, and I thought I had unmuted myself, but apparently I did not. So we went through the entire, well, not the entire raid, we didn't finish the raid, but we went through like a good portion of it, and I was just not talking. And I was responding when people were calling me. Like, you know, obviously I was muted. I didn't know that. But, like, when people were like, oh, Paisley, do this, Paisley, do that. I was like, okay, I'm over here. Or there's stuff over here. Or I'm going over that way. And it just never went through because, yeah, it was muted. And people didn't say anything till the end. So, like, oh.
Yep, pretty much. that was funny. And then the entire raid team just burst out laughing.
It was
we were,
stupid. Why didn't you say anything?
I texted you!
I didn't say it!
I mean, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Just say, "Oh, hey." Am I supposed to just say to my introverted girlfriend, "Hey, is something wrong? You're muted," while the entire raid team can hear me?
Yes.
You'd have a heart attack.
Not really, because I would have been like, I've been talking this entire time, and look down, and I'm like, oh shit.
Okay, but I thought that there was another reason, and I thought, oh, well, maybe I should just text her, because there is something up. I don't think she'd, like, tell everyone.
Well, like, okay, the thing is, like, even though, like, sometimes I don't really talk that much, especially when there's a lot of people I don't know, I will respond when called on, and if I'm not responding when I'm called on, I'm probably muted. Like, 99% of the time, I am muted.
I know. Your reaction, because we were like, towards the end of the raid, we were like, Paze, like, at that point, everyone was like, Paze, are you good? You've been muted this whole time, and then, and your reaction.
Are you serious?
Is just all of the locations. I feel like Destiny has some of the most superb art direction in the whole video game industry, for that matter of fact. All the locales, settings, I feel, work perfectly for what they're trying to convey. Some favorites that really stick out to me, just off the top of my head, are Mercury. I've loved Mercury ever since Destiny 1. Cosmodrome has a lot of nostalgia. In all honesty, even if it wouldn't serve a purpose, I'd love to be able to revisit Cade's stash from the Taken King one day.
Weirdo.
You're the one dating this weirdo, so...
You know what? Fine. Whatever.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, unless you're saying we should break up right here on call.
No! Scream.
Angry screams of pain. Alright. That was fun.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you more.
Love you the most.
Lies.
It's funny how much it's been a part of our life.
Absolutely, yeah.
In different ways. And I think this is actually like a really good way to wrap it up. It's just that Destiny definitely had a strong element throughout you growing up, and I'm actually excited that you're revisiting it at this time in your life, because I think you can see things and appreciate things now through these eyes versus middle school eyes. You know, they're a little bit different, right?
Right.
We should hope. Anyway, so...
We should hope? What's that supposed to mean?
You know what I mean.
Oh.
Anyways, so I'm excited. I'm really excited for this project and everything you've done so far on it. I'm loving and super proud of you for it. So
thanks, Ma.
keep up the good work.
I will.
All right.